All right, now I'm going to attempt to do Chapter 4 homework with you. And so this is going to be the Module 4 or Chapter 4 homework for Microsoft Excel, APP104. We're going to be doing Apply Your Knowledge, Extend Your Knowledge, and Expand Your World. I have not done this before, so this is going to be live and uncut, so to speak. Let's just jump right into it. The first one is found on page EX233. It's a Apply Your Knowledge that says Loan Payment Calculator. We're going to need some student data files, so I'm going to jump into Canvas. Look at my handsome self again. And jump in here to assignment. So we've got these three different files. I'm going to go ahead and download the loan payment calculator first. Fantastic, and I'm going to load it up. So the instructions for this say, I'm going to enable editing. Run Excel, open the workbook, apply 4-1 loan payment calculator. Perfect, I've done that. You will recreate the loan payment calculator pictured in figure 4-66. You will be instructed to print several times in this assignment. If requested or allowed by your instructor, consider saving paper by printing to a PDF file, which is what we will do every single time. So we're going to be printing all of this out in XPS or PDF. Perform the following tasks. Number 1, select range B4 to C9. So B4 to C9. I'm going to highlight this little group in here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so we can be focused in on this right now. So I've highlighted B4 to C9. There we go. Now we can see it. And then I'm going to create names for the cells, which we talked about in class doing. So if we're going to go to formulas right up here, and then we're going to create from selection under define names, and we want to select the left column. So all of these cells are going to be named whatever's in the left. Go ahead and click OK. Done. I like that. So if you look at this, it now says down payment. This will say price up here. This will say years now. And so we can refer back to these with those names from here on out. Enter the formulas found in table 4-4. So in cell C8, the formula is going to equal the price minus the down payment. So we're going to say equals, and we can just type this in, price minus the down payment. I can just select it below because it'll pop up, and notice it's highlighted both of those. Go ahead and say enter. That gives us a good calculation. C9 is our payment amount. This is a little more complicated. Remember, whenever we use the payment function in Excel, it's automatically going to give us a negative number. So we want to start this one off equals negative payment. And now we want to do our interest rate. So I'm going to go ahead and just click interest rate divided by 12 because this is every month. And the interest rate is for the whole year. Comma, and we want to do 12 years. So, or I'm sorry, 12-month payments. So 12 times the years. Comma, and then we're going to do the loan amount. Close parentheses. We always want to close our parentheses, and we go ahead and hit enter. And look at that. We came up with a monthly payment of $21.89.19. This looks about right. According to the book, that's the right number. Just need to get a drink there, sorry. Okay, so we've gotten our formulas in for that. Now, over here under total cost, it says that for F4, we want to equal our monthly payment. So we're going to say equals monthly payment. Total cost equals 12 times, this is all from the book, table 4-4. So 12 times monthly payment times years plus down payment So we're saying we're going to add in this down payment we put times all the years of payments. So our total cost is going to be that $233,000. $936. Doesn't look exactly right compared to what's on ours, but I'm going to continue on just in case. Total interest is going to equal G4 minus price. This minus the price. Ta-da. Great. So we're looking good so far. Perfecto. All right, so let's go ahead and do our next little section here, which is use the data table button in the what if analysis gallery, which is under the data tab forecast group, to define the range E4. So we're going to grab, right here, E4 to H19. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so we can now see this whole section. There we go. So we've highlighted all of this. And we want to go into data, what if analysis, and we want to use a data table. So this is going to fill in at all these different interest rates, what would the monthly payment be, what would the total cost be, and what would the total interest be. So our row input cell, we want to use interest rate in the loan payment calculator as the column input cell. So we're going to go ahead and say loan interest rate. Click. Go ahead and enter. Click OK, and it fills everything out automatically. Look at that. Boom. Matches what we have in the book as our check figures that we're able to have here. So then what we want to do is use the page setup dialog box to select fit to and black and white options. So we're going to print this. So we're going to go ahead and go to page layout and set print area. We want to select to fit. So when we do that, instead of going up into print area, I'm going to go ahead and drop this open. We want to fit 1-to-1. So we want it to be 1 page wide by 1 page tall. Then over on sheet, we want to set it to black and white. This gives us all those options that they've asked us for. Now we're going to select B2 through H19. I'm sorry, B2 through C9. And we want to set this as our print area. So we're going to say set print area. Then use the print button in the print gallery in the backstage view to print the worksheet. Use the clear print. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and print. So I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to go down to print. It's on here. We're going to go ahead and select. I'm going to send it out to print to PDF. Print. And now we're going to be storing this so that we have, I'm going to go ahead and put my name on it. Apply 4-1, print 1 is what I'm going to call it. So I've put my name, the problem, and print 4-1. So I've just done that. Now we're going to come back up here. We're going to clear the print area. Great. Flipping the page. Name the following ranges B2 to C9 calculator. So I have it highlighted. I can go up here to, sorry, page layout. Okay. I'm going to define the name for this. And we're going to call this calculator. So this area that I have highlighted over here, I've just named calculator. I want to click E2 through H19, and it's telling me in here to call this rate schedule. So I'm going to define the name. I'm going to call it rate schedule. Great. And B2 through H19, define this as all selections, or all sections, excuse me. Great. Fantastic. So now it's telling me to print all three of these. So print each range by selecting the name in the name box right here, using the print selection option on the print tab in the backstage view. So I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to say calculator. I can just hit Control P, but I'm going to go ahead and just jump in here, hit print. I don't want to print active sheet. I want to print selection only. I'm still set up as PDF right here. So I'm going to go ahead and print. I'm going to say 4-1 print 2. Select my next one, which was rate schedule. Same thing, file, print. Should already be on selection. Great, print. I'm going to click on this just once so I don't have to retype everything and say 3. And finally, I want to do all sections. I'm going to hit Control P this time, brings up the same thing. Everything's highlighted. Go ahead and hit print. And I'm going to go ahead and make this print 4. All right, now we want to go do our cool little feature where we can highlight these 3 things, or these 4 items right here. Right mouse click, go down to Format Cells, and under Protection, we want to unlock. So we want to pull this locked button off by just clicking it and clicking OK. On the next section, it says press the Control plus, and you can barely see the accent key. So the accent key is just to the left of the 1. So if I hit Control accent, you'll notice that what this gives me is called Formula View. This is a fantastic view that we haven't gone over in class yet. We will. But this is a great way where people think you're a genius in Excel, because what you could do is you could say, hey, let me see what's going on, and they come over and they ask you for help. They're like, I don't understand why this is wrong. We're like, let me see it. So you can click into it and you can see automatically, okay, this cell is a table. Okay, so it's doing an automatic calculation, or up here, it's referring to monthly payment. So we can actually see all the formulas instantly. So it tells us to do this, and then we want to print a version out in landscape orientation. So we're going to go ahead and hit print, Control P, make sure we switch this over to landscape, and it didn't come up. So let me just double check on what I'm doing here. Control P. Oh, I know what I have. I have selection. So we're going to print the active sheet, and notice that instead of just having the selection, now we have all of it here with all the information that we need to have this printed. I'm going to go ahead and hit print. I'm going to make this print 5. Plenty of nice homework here to do. Once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and collapse it back with the same button, Control and the accent key. Okay, so we have unlocked the range. We've printed. Now, on 8, we want to hide and then unhide the payment calculator worksheet. So we can come down here. We're going to have to, in order to hide it, it's going to say we can't because we need another sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then just hide. And then if we click down here, we say unhide. It will pull it back up and show it to us. Delete this extra book that we just, or the sheet that we just created. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Good. Unprotect the worksheet and then hide columns E through H. Let me see here. Hide then unhide. Hide then unhide. Delete the extra worksheet that you made. Unprotect the worksheet and then hide columns E through H. So let's go ahead. I don't think we ever protected the worksheet. Oh, protect the worksheets. Okay, yeah, so I skipped that before. So we're just going to unprotect the worksheet. We're going to hide E through H. Okay, so we're going to right mouse click on them and say hide. Just comes up right here. Select D through I, and then they're probably going to have me unhide it. Yep, reveal hidden columns. So we're just going to unhide it. We're just trying to see what we can do here. They're showing us that we can hide those things. Now print the worksheet Hide rows. Oh, now it wants us to hide rows 11 through 19. Hide. Good. Print the worksheet. Select rows 10 through 20 and unhide. So now it's asking me to print. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print. We can see I have the hidden stuff. Go ahead and print. Apply print 6. Great. So I did that. Now I'm going to unhide what's in here because it's asking me to. There's the rest of my worksheet. And now it says to protect it. So we're going to go over here to review and protect the sheet. This means I can't do anything except mess with these 4 that I did. But over here, I can't do anything to this because I can type in anything I want. It's protected. Determine the monthly payment and print the worksheet for each data set. So we're going to do two different things, and we're going to print it. We're going to come up here, and we're going to call this item a home. I'm sorry. Way wrong answer. This one right here. Home. Oh, and I unfortunately protected that. So I'm going to have to unprotect it. I'm going to right mouse click on it, format cells, unlock that. And now I'm going to protect the sheet. Good. So now I can say home. Worked. Number 2, down payment is going to be $50,000. Price is $244,900. Notice as soon as I did that, I calculated everything. My years is 15, and my interest payment or interest rate is 4.125. Great. And you know what? This one I could probably expand out one more. It's protected. I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. So we have that there, and then print it. So Control P, print number 7. Lot for this problem. Next one, we want to go in here. We're going to do a debt consolidation loan. Won't let me make it any bigger because it's protected, but that's all right. So our debt consolidation loan, we have 0 as a down payment. We have a price of $25,000. We have 5 years, and the interest rate is 11.75. So you can see that every year, if we want to pay off this $25,000 over 5 years at 11%, we'd have to pay a monthly payment of $552.96. I'm going to go ahead and print that. You can retype this every time. I'm just clicking once onto the last one I did and then changing the number. If requested by your instructor, add your initials into cell E3. I'm not requesting that, but I am requesting that you go File, Save As, and then put your name on the front of this. Oh, you know, I gotta find my location first or it's not gonna keep it. There we go. Save the workbook, submit it. So you would submit this and all your PDF documents for your printouts. Great. Apply your knowledge is done. Let's jump into extend your knowledge. We need a new file. So I'm going to come down here and jump back in here. Extend your knowledge 401(3)B planning sheet. Let's go ahead and open it up, and I want to enable it. Come on. Oh, here's Excel. It's already opened. I don't see that, but we'll go ahead and just say notify. So we're going to go ahead and tell it that we want to read write it. We want to open it for editing or hit enable editing. I'm going to go up and save it right off the bat because of that. I just want to make sure I don't have any issues. So I'm going to go save and put my name on the front of it. Good. Got that. So we have run Excel, open the workbook, extend 4-1 403B planning sheet. Did that. The data file contains a financial calculator for a 403B retirement plan. Riveting. This is so exciting so far. You will create a 2-input data table that will help employees understand the impact that the amount they invest and the return or the rate of return will have on their retirement earnings. Recall from the module that a 2-input data table allows for 2 variables, amount invested and rate of return in this case, in a formula. Great. So let's go ahead and go to number 1. Number 1 says type impact of varying annual return in cell I1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go right here and say impact of varying annual return and employee percent invested. Boom. And 3, I'm going to put annual return in left column and employee percent invested in top row. Go ahead and save it. Control S is what I'm doing because I've already saved it. Change the width of column H to 0.67. So we can go over here. We can do that on this section right here, or we can just hit right mouse click and say column width 0.67. I think that's much faster. Excellent. Merge and center I1 and I3 through, okay, so I1 through Q is what it says. We're going to just hit merge and center right here. So go ahead and click that. And then I3 through Q3, merge and center again. Perfect. Format the titles using the title cell for both the title and the subtitle. Okay, so I'm going to say cell type title, cell style title. On the top one, let's see here, we want to use size 18. Okay, on the bottom one, we want to use 14. Just downsize the font a couple times. Excellent. Next, we want to change the column widths of I through Q to 13. Okay, so I'm going to highlight all of them. I'm going to right mouse click, go to column width, put 13 in there. Voila. We have something beautiful. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so we can see this whole thing together. Let's see here. Format cells I1 and I3 to match the fill and font in B3. So if I just come over here and I hit Format Painter and I click on that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, but I did. My bad. So I want it to be the same. I was trying to do a shortcut and just do Format Painter, but instead I'm going to come over here and it looks like it's brown accent 3 to the best of my knowledge. Font is white. Let's go ahead and do the same thing and same thing. Now that it's there, it's a lot easier. All right. For a 2-input data table, the formula you are analyzing must be assigned to the upper left cell in the range of the data table. Because cell C14 contains the future value formula to be analyzed, go ahead and say equals. So we're in I4 equals C14, future value. I like it. Now we're going to run a series of percentages. Okay, so use the fill handle to create 2 lists of percentages. 3.0% right here through 12. So let's just grab it and see what we do here. Nope, that's not going to work. So let's go 3, and then the next one is going to be 3.5%. So now I can, now that this is a series starting, we should get 4, 4.5, all the way down through 12. Love that. And then we want to do in, let's see here. And in B, 3.0 through J. Okay, so J is going to be a 3.00%. And this is going to be in increments of 1% through Q4. Oh, I'm sorry, I did this one on the wrong level. Let me go ahead and delete that and put 3.00%. And we're going to do a 4.00%. So we're doing it on increments of 1. So we should be able to pull this out to 10. Ta-da! There we go, looking good. Now use the data table button. We want to highlight I4 all the way down to here to Q24. We're going to go into data, what if, and data table. Now this time we're going to be doing a two of these, so we have to not just put a column input, but a row input. So our row input is going to be C8. So we're going to say C8. And our column input is going to be C5. We can go ahead and click OK. Fills everything out. My top one up here, unfortunately, I had put a percentage in, so it doesn't look right. So I'm going to go ahead and just say this is a comma style. I'm sure this is going to come up in the problem. I'm actually going to do it right now because I messed that up. I'm sorry, but there we go. Comma style everywhere. So now what we have is if the employees percent invested is 3% and the let's see here, expected annual return is 3%, they would get $33,569.87. So this is just giving us a nice little table of these. We can kind of find out if the employee invested 7% at 10.5%. You know, we can go through all these and look at it. This just gives us some good information here. Now, we've populated the table. Let's format the two input data tables using a white font to fill in B3 to G12. So B3 to G12. Format the two input data table using a white font and the fill color. Oh, so we're just saying we want to use these same things. So I'm going to highlight this whole thing. My first thing I'm going to do is give it the white color font because I already have that. My second thing I'm going to do is pop down and I want to match the color. I believe it's that one. Let me see here. Nope, I was way off. I'm going to take my format painter and click it in here. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. That was the wrong place to format that thing. If I go in and I select on this, it should show me what color I'm using here. There we go. So now we're formatted properly. Looks the same everywhere. Fill color, bold these ranges. So we want to bold I4 through Q4. Go ahead and hit bold. We're going to bold down here. We want to match number format used in F5. So it's comma style, so we did that. Place a light border around the range I3 to Q23. So we're going to go ahead and do I3 to Q23. We want to place a light border around it, so we're going to go ahead and do borders. We've selected light. We're going to leave it as black, and we're just say outline. And light borders in between the columns that's in the same range. Okay, so we're going to say column borders right in here. Click OK. And then it says we want to do a bottom border on I4 through Q4. So we're going to highlight that, jump in here, do more borders. We're going to throw a bottom border in there. Great. It's looking just like the other side. We want to protect the worksheet so somebody can only select C3 through C6. So we're going to highlight these. I'm going to hold the control key down and get C8 and C9. Those are also important. Right mouse click, format cells, go to protection. We're going to unlock those. And then what we can do is we can jump over into review and click protect sheet. So the only thing that we can do, see, we can't even select anything except for these ones that we've unprotected. If necessary, change the print orientation to landscape. I think that's necessary. So page layout, orientation, let's go ahead and make it landscape. Looks like it was already actually. Print the worksheet, so Control P. It's all fit on here. This is pretty good. I like it. Custom fit 1 to 1 page. That works. We're going to go ahead and you don't have to print this out. You can just turn this in exactly as it is. So we've now done number 2, extend your knowledge. So how could you improve the design of the worksheet to make an impact on various combinations of employee investments easily identified? Well, I think what you could do is first off, maybe put a graph in of some kind showing an optimum amount. I think that the colors are horrible, but like I've said, this isn't an Apple product, it's a Microsoft product. So it's probably going to look bad anyway. But yeah, just you can go through and think up the different things. Maybe center these things to make it a little bit easier to read. There's a bunch of little things like that. Okay, so we're done with that one. Let's go on to the third one. Expand your world. So we're going to create a solution that uses cloud or web technologies and investigate for some things on our own general guidance. So we need to download the file. We're going to go back into Canvas, expand your world, down payment calculator, misspelled. I'm going to have to fire my Canvas team. Here we go. Boom. We're going to open that up and we're going to enable editing. So we have this basic down payment calculator here. It says you are planning to buy a home soon, as soon as you can save enough to make a 20% down payment. Your task is to create a calculator that you can use to determine possible savings options and to share this calculator with your family using OneDrive. Run Excel, open the workbook, expand 4-1 down payment calculator. Good, we did that. Now I'm going to save this right off the bat, file, save as, so that I can do this. Now we could go out into OneDrive. We're not going to do that right now because I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I am going to put my name on this so that I don't forget it. Boom, good. Excellent. So now we have expand your world. So identify a home for sale in your local housing market that you would consider buying. Use the asking price for that home as the current value of the house, or use an online tool such as Zillow to find a current estimated value of the home. Enter this value in your down payment calculator and calculate the needed down payment. Okay, so we're going to go find a house. Why not? Let's do what they said. Let's go to Zillow. I'm going to go to San Marcos. Here we go. Let's just say 92069. We're going to buy something. Sure, why not? This looks, here we go. 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,700 square feet. No thanks, I don't want to give feedback. Ooh, $1 million home. These are some pretty nice houses for sale here in San Marcos. Let's go ahead and grab something crazy. Let's go for it. This one's up there a little bit. It's a little out there. I'd rather get something close to the campus. Sure, why not? This looks like a condo. So this is down here. It's right by the campus. You know, it's probably less than a mile away. So $327 or $327,000 is the price. So I found one. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to say $327,000. Now we want to calculate a 20% down payment. How do we do that in Excel? What's the math? Let me think here. I think it's going to be 70-something thousand, but I don't even need to calculate that. It's probably going to be less than that. It's going to be just under. I can just say this times 0.2, which is 20%, or if I want to be crazy, I can just say 20%. And then it's going to tell us. So the current value of the house, so what's 20% of down payment? $65,400. I'm going to go ahead and make that comma style. Get rid of the 2 zeros. Now the monthly savings, let's see here. So enter the value, and calculate the needed down payment. So we've done that. Number 3, determine the amount you consider reasonable as a monthly savings towards a down payment and enter this amount in the calculator. So I need to get to this amount of money, this $65,400, in a reasonable amount of time. I think that the problem's telling me 6 years, so I'm just going to guess every year I need to save $10,000. I'm going to say I'm going to try and save $900. Let's just try it. Okay, use the future value function to calculate how much you could save using the rate of return and years to save in the worksheet. Remember, using a minus sign to provide the function so it can appear as a positive value. We're going to come down here and say equals negative the future value, FV. If we hit parentheses, so the rate of return, 4.2%, comma, the number of payments. So we're going to say this times 12, because it's 12 months, comma, the payment amount, right here. And we're going to go ahead and close that and say at that value, 6 years to save, we could afford something at $402,788. Okay, it works for me. Let's see here. Create a 2-input data table that calculates the future value of savings. You can decide the 2 inputs that you would like to use for your data table. So we're going to come over here and say down payment calculator equals the future value. This is what we want to calculate. Great. And we're going to go ahead and put at rate of return. So let's do a 4.00% and a 4.25%. And I'm going to go ahead and grab these two. I'm just building my own data table. Once again, this isn't something that like is rocket science that we have in the book. We're just kind of making it up as we go. And then I'm going to say we're going to do a years to save. Why not? So I'm going to start a series. I'm going to go down to 10 years. 10 years data table. Voila. I'm going to zoom out so we can see this whole thing. It's not very pretty right now, but we're getting there. So now we're going to create this. You can decide. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight all the way down here. Go up into data. What if data table? I'm going to say my row input cell is the rate of return, and my column input cell is my years to save. And then when I click OK, it will tell me the amounts that I can get. Look at that. It all worked out perfect. So we got that. So we create our 2 item. Format the worksheet using techniques to present it in a visually appealing form. Well, first off, I need to make this comma style because it's hard to even read a lot of this stuff. Comma style works good, formats it over there. Let's go ahead and create a table that we could put a box around. Let's go ahead and outline this thing. I'm going to use a thicker line because I like thicker lines. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to do the inside of this as a nice blue. I'm going to bold this section, Control B. I'm going to bold this section, Control B. That looks like I've got plenty going down there. Let's do the same thing over here, and let's shrink while we're at it. I'm just going to shrink this down here so they get closer. Make it blue. Give it an outline. Thick outside box. There we go. Didn't even have to do a lot of that. I'm going to do the same thing over here. There's some shortcuts in here. You don't even have to go in. I'm just going to click thick outside box. Now they look exactly the same. We can use Excel online to create 2 charts showing the relationship between future value savings. But what I'm going to have you do is if you can just do at least 1 chart, just showing the percentage, and let's just say year 3. Insert recommended chart, and sorry, let's do this. Let's go there, and 3rd year. I'm using my control button to do that. We can show that as it goes up, it goes up. Sure. This is a great little chart we can show. We need to put this on its own page. Say chart for future payment or savings. Great. Did that. I can just delete this chart title if I'd like to. Voila. I have that. And we're going to save. Why'd you select the two inputs used for the data table? Well, I want to do the rate of return and I want to do the number of years so I could plan out what I was going to save for. That's about it. So I'm going to hit save and I'm going to submit this and I am done with Chapter 4's homework. Woohoo!